Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about North Arlington. North Arlington is west of the Potomac. It's just on the other side of DC, and it is home to the Pentagon, Reagan National Airport, as well as some of the most expensive real estate in the DC area. So did you know? Arlington has no incorporated cities or towns within its borders. Arlington's the county, everyone's mailing address is Arlington, and Arlington itself is actually not a city. So that makes it kind of a rare breed where everybody is having their mailing address considered to be Arlington, even though Arlington's not a town or a city, it's a county. How about that? Because of this, there's actually a ton of neighborhoods though in Arlington. And Arlington is split into two parts. There's North Arlington and South Arlington. So if you can find Route 50 on a map, which is also called Arlington Boulevard, you will see that everything south or below 50 is called South Arlington, and they're gonna have an S in the addresses. And everything north of Route 50 is, you guessed it, North Arlington. So this video is specifically about North Arlington, that is everything above or north of Route 50. So metro lines in Arlington follow the commercial development. Blue and yellow lines serve South Arlington, orange and silver serve North Arlington. The North Arlington can also kind of be further divided. This isn't anything official, but for the purposes of explaining Arlington to you and North Arlington, which is huge, I'm kind of going to talk about it in two different respects. The areas along 66, Wilson Boulevard, and the Metro line are a lot of commercial, very urban living. The residences are a lot of mixed use. There's condos, condos above retail. There's a lot of restaurants, nightlife, things like that. So the first neighborhood would be Roslyn, and Roslyn, it kind of, if you follow that path along the way, you'll go Roslyn, Courthouse, Clarendon, Virginia Square, into Ballston. And then it kind of moves off into Falls Church City. All right, so if you head further north, you are in like what I would almost call the suburbs of Arlington. This is the northernmost part of Arlington. It's less walkable. Everything here really is going to require a car. North of Lee Highway and 29 and all along the Potomac on the northern edge. So these neighborhoods are Woodmont, Donaldson Run, Riverwood, Bellevue Forest, Rivercrest, Arlingwood, Yorktown, Rock Spring, Williamsburg. So let's talk about a little bit of history. Arlington used to be part of the surrounding Fairfax County, and it was also included in the original square of land that was part of the capital, but then was ceded back. So by the mid-1800s, with slavery at the forefront of the brewing Civil War, the folks in Alexandria realized that they had no congressional representation, and they figured if they ceded themselves back to the Commonwealth of Virginia, that they would pick up two representatives who were in favor of slavery. So initially, the whole thing was Alexandria County, but all of that was super confusing, and the part that we know now as Arlington became Arlington County in 1920. Let's talk a little bit about real estate. So remember that North Arlington can be divided into two different types of lifestyle in a way. The northern part and north of 29 and Old Dominion Road, all that's residential. Okay, so when it comes to real estate in North Arlington, it's really pretty easy. Everything is single family homes. There's no condos. Can you get a house here in the 800s? Sure can. Is it gonna need work? Sure will. Are you more likely to pay over $1 million? Sure are. You can actually pay up into the $3 millions if you want. As I said, Arlington real estate ranks as some of the most expensive, not only in Virginia, but also in the country. So the lower part of North Arlington, that is the part that runs along Wilson Boulevard. These neighborhoods, like I said, Roslyn, Courthouse, Clarendon, even Lyon Village, Lyon Park, Ashton Heights, Virginia Square, and Ballston. This is kind of, in a way, what I would call a main drag. So real estate variety exists here in both style and pricing. And you've got apartments, condos, townhomes, even single families, and you are going to pay for location and walkability here. Condos are $400-ish for one bedroom. Townhouses start in about the 800s and go into the millions. Houses, same, close to the millions and up. A lot of them are also going to need work if they're closer or below the $1 million mark. Let's talk about food in Arlington. So the northern parts of North Arlington, remember the place where there's all single family houses, this is all residential. Houses as far as the eye can see. However, you don't really have anything right on top of you in terms of restaurants and things like that. So you're either going to be driving to McLean, Virginia, or down to the Wilson Strip to Courthouse, Roslyn, Clarendon, those neighborhoods for your restaurant and retail. Ballston right now is going through a major redevelopment. You used to look at Ballston and say, I can see how this used to be cool in the 90s. But now it's actually getting a facelift, and it's a pretty intense facelift. Ballston Quarter now has a food hall of sorts, and indoor-outdoor collection of restaurants. And the same for grocery stores. North Arlington, you're coming south or you're going to McLean. And for everything else that you may need, it's also all along Wilson Boulevard and Clarendon. You've got everything that you could possibly need in terms of grocery. All right, now what's here for fun? Well, there's tons of parks. I'm gonna mention those in a moment. There's tons of places to hang out. Try Northside Social in Clarendon for coffee and people watching. You could hit up an awesome Connecticut pizza restaurant that just moved here, Colony Grill, and that's turned into quite a little hangout. You've got movies in the courthouse neighborhood at AMC. Ballston, like I said, is going through a total renovation and redo. Ballston Mall has a skating rink, a cooking school. What else could you want? I'm sitting in Clarendon here in a little shopping area that includes like Crate and Barrel, Barnes and Noble, some shops, and parking is relatively easy. There's also public parking, so kind of fun place to hang out. All right, what about the kids? So the person who moves to North Arlington is really the person who loves the urban feel of the county and the amenities coupled with top-notch schools. There are 22 elementary schools here, 6 middle schools, 3 high schools. There's also a tech and career-focused high school. The county spends half of its revenue on education, and they have top-notch schools to show for it for the most part. If we use the infamously questionable great schools, and I could go on a whole video about great schools and how it works, but if because it's solely based on test scores, which if you teach to the test, then you're gonna end up having some students that are able to score well because you've taught them exactly what's gonna be on the test. Side note. So you're gonna see a lot of 8s, 9s, and 10s in North Arlington as far as elementary school goes. Scores kind of drop into the middle school and high schools, but the 2 high schools that are in North Arlington are pretty desired. It's Yorktown and the Yorktown Pyramid, which is serves the northern parts of Arlington. And then you have Washington Liberty, renamed Washington Lee, and I still don't remember that and I get slapped around for it, sorry, is more close to the Wilson Boulevard strip. And so Arlington is interesting because you're gonna see hustle and bustle of an urban area, which you might normally associate with young professionals, but this isn't a place that people live when they are young and then move away when they raise kids. A lot of them stay here because they love it and they love the lifestyle and the walkability and the access to everything. All right, so I promised you that I would talk about parks. So there are tons of parks. It's enough parks here to make like a forest ranger jealous. You've got big ones in North Arlington, Potomac Overlook, Glebe Road Park. You have smaller neighborhood parks closer to the Wilson Boulevard Strip, because as that may make sense to you if you think about it, it's more dense down there. So you've got little neighborhood parks. You've got Quincy Park, Henry Clay, Rocky Run Park, Mosaic Park, Chestnut Hills, and Greenbrier Park. As a resident of Arlington, you also have the opportunity to take advantage of so many activities offered through the Parks and Rec classes. So they have camps, they have a really amazing program that I'm super jealous of. The YMCA also has a couple locations and a huge gymnastics program at the Woodmont location with tons of teams that compete out of there. They also have a dedicated tennis center. So let's talk about the doggies. You want dog parks and trails? You got it. The center of Arlington has the James Hunter Dog Park, the Benjamin Banneker Dog Park, and the northern parts of Arlington have the Fort Ethan Allen Dog Park. When we get to South Arlington, we're going to talk about a trail that starts in Arlington and goes about 45 miles or so out to Purcellville, Virginia. And that is a place that people also pretty highly desire to live near. So that is it. I am Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mama. And if you have any questions about North Arlington or places to live, things to do, or what it's like here, give me a call. My contact info is coming next.